Introduction to Inequalities Tutorials and Revision Guides. In this set of math tutorials we cover inequalities in detail with clear guides, inequalities formulas and working examples. This chapter contains 4 tutorials with a total of 17 lessons. Each tutorial includes example questions, a revision guide and supporting inequalities calculators. We also provide online inequalities calculators, which allow you to calculate specific inequalities formula in support of the tutorials, or to check and verify your own calculations in support of your inequalities homework, math coursework, or to help you improve your own understanding so it is easier to teach your children inequalities. This chapter deals entirely with inequalities, the complementary version of equations we discussed in the previous chapter on equations. The first tutorial begins with the definition of inequalities and their difference with equations illustrated with their simplest version, the first-order inequalities with one variable. Moreover, the symbols used to express the relationship between the two parts of a mathematical sentence representing an inequality are explained in detail. Solving inequalities of various types is the main focus of this tutorial. Other things such as double inequalities, transformations allowed in inequalities, intervals and segments, linear inequalities in 2 variables, and checking whether a number pair is a solution for a linear inequality in 2 variables or not, complete the framework of this long but key tutorial that is very useful in understanding how inequalities work. The second tutorial of this chapter deals with quadratic inequalities, as an extension of the concept of quadratic equations. The first thing you will learn in this tutorial is how to identify whether a given number is a root of a quadratic inequality or not. Other things discussed in this tutorial include writing a quadratic inequality in the standard form, studying the sign and finding the solution set of a quadratic inequality. Perhaps the most important thing discussed in this tutorial is, however, the study of the inequalities sign based on the roots of the corresponding quadratic equation and more specifically, on the sign of the discriminant. The third tutorial of this chapter deals with the graphs of inequalities. The most important thing you will learn in this tutorial, but not only, is the shape and orientation of linear and quadratic graphs based on the signs and values of the coefficients a and b and the constant c. Other things you will learn in this tutorial include finding the standard form of a linear inequality when its graph is given, and identifying the direction of the solution set in linear and quadratic inequalities. All concepts and methods explained in this tutorial are illustrated with examples for a better understanding. The fourth tutorial deals with systems of inequalities. Obviously, the only method available here is the graphing method, as the rest of the methods would require lots of effort in identifying the solution set because of the different signs used in inequalities. In this tutorial, you will learn the answers to questions like, how to identify the solution set zone of a system of linear inequalities, how to find the minimum-maximum value of the solution set in systems of inequalities, how to find the leftmost-rightmost value of the solution set in systems of inequalities, how to solve systems of 3 linear inequalities, how to solve systems of inequalities where at least one inequality is not linear, and so on. That is all for introduction to inequalities. To start this chapter, please watch the first tutorial 10.1, Solving Linear Inequalities. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with new videos. For more information, calculators, and tutorials, please visit www.iCalculator.info.